And I imagine once it comes time to push the envelope and he gets a green light to really, okay, now you need to ramp up the size to play Hulk Hogan, I wouldn't be surprised if he throws in another anabolic that is known for its, you know, nitrogen water retentive properties, like a What's up guys, Derek, moreplaysmoredates.com. Today we are going to be circling back to Chris Hemsworth. This is somebody I have done a video on in the past about his you know, speculated exogenous hormone use to prepare for his roles in Thor and to beef up with what appears to be just like pure lean mass in a like very short duration of time. Like he went from being a relatively, you know, athletic, skinny looking dude to all of a sudden for Thor bulking up and gaining, you know, fucking 30 plus pounds of lean body mass within, I think it was like 6 months or something insane.
He's built like a brick shit house.
So for Thor, the goal was size, bigger. Chris put on 20, 25 pounds of muscle in about 6 months.
So in Thor, we saw him pack on a ridiculous amount of muscle, like beyond, well above what anyone could conceivably achieve naturally outside of the scope of like a genetic hyper elite like Ronnie Coleman or Phil Heath and some of those kind of guys, like guys with like literal fucking myostatin deficiencies probably. So I think it was pretty likely that he took something for Thor, and then more recently he has been preparing for his role as Hulk Hogan. So I talked about this earlier in the year about how he's preparing to play Hulk Hogan and how he has to get even bigger for that role than he did for Thor. Self-admittedly, he said he's gonna have to gain even more size for that role, which, you know, what are we going to think when he has a more unachievable expectation, essentially, when the first one was already fucking insane? So we had an update actually, and he's been updating like pretty transparently. He put out this, and of course a bunch of people tagged me in it. This was earlier today, or I guess yesterday when I put out this video probably. Cheat day today, decided to treat myself to this extra large donut. Gosh, it's heavy. And then he plugs his app here, and he's just looking like a fucking sauce house. So this guy is striated, he's got good amounts of mass, he is just putting on like slabs of lean fucking meat. He is not gaining what seems to be an ounce of fat whatsoever, and he's just gaining pure size. A lot of that is probably muscle memory from the Thor days though, you have to keep in mind, but he is going to have to push it above and beyond for, you know, really peaking for the Hulk Hogan role. So in the, one of the most recent articles says what to expect from Chris Hemsworth Hulk Hogan biopic. Might have said that wrong. Biopic, I don't fucking know. So basically in July, he went into detail what he needed to do to prepare for it. Hulk Hogan in his prime was over 300 pounds of solid muscle supposedly. So Hemsworth says he'll need to pack on more muscle than he ever did for Thor, and also need to master Hogan's distinctive accent, dye his hair blonde, and grow a mustache. So basically, as you would expect for the majority of 2020, you would think, you know, he's gonna be putting in the work to gain more size, but obviously you know what happened earlier in the year, so that kind of put things on hold a bit. So I kind of wanted to see, you know, he seems to be packing on just fucking slabs of tissue lately. So are there some updates about the production of this movie? And the most recent one is actually fucking like yesterday. So in this article, it said, recently just saw the news that Thor Love and Thunder is being compared to an Avengers 5, and that filming starts in January. It's also thought that the fat Thor from the Avengers Endgame is out. So it looks as if Love and Thunder will feature the super jacked Thor from Down Under. And in the previous article I was referring to, it said, the biopic could conceivably release in 2021 should it begin filming before the end of 2020. If not, 2022 is more likely. So, you know, by the sounds of it, it seems like Hemsworth is starting to ramp up his training to kind of pack on the size needed to at least play Thor in the coming early year, and then probably prime his physique to really step it up another notch when he needs to pack on even more size to whenever the production date is for the Hulk Hogan movie. So when you look back at him from like 2019, you can see him training, and he's always in shape. Like the guy is always striking distance of single digit body fat percentage. He also sells like his own app, training app, I guess, Center Fit or whatever. So he's always like promoting, you know, fucking workout tips and shit. And obviously he's not going to talk about what goes into the hormone side of the equation. But, you know, you could speculate that he is indeed natural during some of these, you know, like off phases where he is not trying to be maximized for a Thor role, or certainly not for a, you know, like a Hulk Hogan role. So here he was in April 2019, and he is doing some kettlebell shit and, you know, doing what he can with what his normal hormone production is, or maybe TRT. I don't think it'd be much more than that at minimum. So again, he's always in shape. He has a good baseline. He has tons of muscle memory and banked myonuclei to just fucking explode off of from his first, you know, preparations for Thor many times at this point. So I wouldn't be surprised if he can just get back the majority of his size within like 2 to 3 months at minimum, or at most, I should say, just using like minimal exogenous hormone intervention. At that point, once you reach that set point though of where he was at like the first Thor movie, I imagine at that point, that's where things are going to get a bit tougher, and he's gonna have to, you know, start introducing more synergistic compounds, increasing the dose, introducing different, you know, interventions that are gonna have to push the limit a bit more, because he has to reach a size he never has for Hulk Hogan. Here he was in September 22nd, 2019. We get another sense of what his, physique looks like when he's not trying to be Thor. He's not small by any means. By most people's standards, he's jacked. He's got the bicep vein going, jumping up and down with the kettlebells, doing some weird, interesting, creative movements that you can probably only figure out the fucking secrets on the center app, because you know, we all know that these kettlebell hammer curls plus a one-leg fucking dip on the ground is the key to getting shredded, of course. And then here he is, October 17th, almost a year ago today, looking a bit beefier, but not quite what he is now. But still, the guy, again, always trying to promote his app, always having to stay in shape because he has some shit to promote that is fitness related, and he's just a in-shape guy with very good genetics to begin with anyways. And this is more recent, October 11th. This was a handful of weeks ago, or at this point, and 2020 has been incredibly hard for communities who depend on tourism. Talking about how once it's safe to do so, let's support our fellow Aussies by taking a holiday at home in Australia. And here he is standing on the edge of the, standing with his, I don't know if this is his brother, and this is that Ross Edgley guy, that fucking sauce house from Gymshark. And here he is looking like a fucking fiend and a half. The guy is cranked out of his tree. He's not big enough to be Hulk Hogan yet, but he certainly is looking pretty damn close to what he was in some of the more recent Thor movies. Not the one where he was fat and out of shape, obviously, but the one prior to that where he, or maybe that was Avengers where he was fat and out of shape. I don't know. But anyways, he, you know, his first Thor movie, I think he had the best physique in overall mass in combination with conditioning. Like it was a softer, more like glycogen loaded looking physique than his later physiques where he was drier and a bit smaller. And this physique looks representative of some of his like more recent Thor roles where he looked you know, the drier and the leaner and less water retentive and nitrogen retentive, I guess. But he's looking fucking good. He's looking ready to step onto the in front of the camera and play Thor again right now. Here he is with Ross Edgley again, the fucking house and a half, and he is ready to do an incline dumbbell press here with these gloves, looking mean. The jawline is tensed, and he's ready to go here and just fire some shit out. And obvious gains have been made, you know, in the past, however long he's been trying to prepare himself and prime himself for some of these upcoming roles. Almost no body fat seems to have been gained. So, you know, it just goes to show probably what he's doing to kind of like bring his body back up to where it needs to be and probably push it beyond that at that point. Here he is in a, I don't know, meditation clip, and you can see how lean this guy is. He's just chilling in the pool, legs crossed, not even fucking working out. He is just sitting there, and you can see the separation in the abs. You know, the guy is striking distance is single digits, even when he is gaining, even when he's gaining size, the guy is maintaining like borderline single digit body fat percentage. Just absolutely insane. It goes to show, you know, what he's done in the past, as well as how good his genetics are, as well as perhaps his response to hormones. And then I guess that was his kid getting in the way there. But anyways, here he is most recently. This is the photo everyone's kind of freaking out about. Obviously he's flexing, he's trying to push a giant heavy donut tire thing, and getting back up to snuff. But for me, is he going to be big enough to play Hulk Hogan in time? You know, personally, I think he is priming his body similar to how he has in the past for Thor. And I imagine once it comes time to push the envelope and he gets a green light to really, okay, now you need to ramp up the size to play Hulk Hogan, I wouldn't be surprised if he throws in another anabolic that is known for its, you know, nitrogen water retentive properties, like a nandrolone, like something that would be, you know, a traditional bulking agent to be thrown on top of what is presumably, I imagine, TRT at minimum right now, if not a slightly super physiological amount, to kind of get back to where he was for the first Thor role and the roles thereafter, where he kind of dried out a bit or whatever. You know, at least I would imagine he's using what he used for the later roles, even if he was a bit smaller in the first one. If he pushed the envelope a bit more for the first one, I'm not really sure. That was what I speculated in the first video. If you want to check that out, I will put a card up in the corner there to what I speculated he ran for that first movie. And then the roles thereafter, I think I touched on that as well. But anyways, I imagine he's probably doing something similar to the later roles. Probably doesn't need a significant amount to get back up to that because he's done it several times at this point. Probably just needs to push the super physiological boundary just a little bit. And then once it comes time to really step on the gas to crank up for Hulk Hogan, I think that is going to be where something like a nandrolone is thrown on top. The test is going to be increased incrementally alongside it. Maybe throw in some GH at that point, but I wouldn't be surprised if this guy's just chilling on like high normal TRT, slightly super physiological right now, and just getting his body back to a primed, you know, lean, I don't know what he is, like 205, 215, whatever his height is, but he's obviously, you know, in my opinion, probably pushing the sauce train at this point and getting his body ready to go, because production's coming up pretty quick here. And the just gains in sheer lean mass are very, very apparent lately, and he's looking fucking good. So this will be interesting to see how hard he really pushes the envelope when it comes time to step things up for the Hulk Hogan movie, because it's like the baseline he gets for Thor, like it's pretty obvious he can do it with relative ease, and he's done it several times before. It seems like he has a bit of leeway on that one, because I don't even think he's gotten as big as he did for the first Thor role again thereafter. Like he never really achieved that you know, softer, kind of more full look that he had in the first one since that role. So it'll be interesting to see what he does when he steps it up this time, and how much he pushes the boundaries and pushes past that one. So exciting to see. You know, let's if I get any updates, you know, maybe I'll do another follow-up on it. But Chris Hemsworth looking fucking sick, and I think he is back on the old Sazul at this point, in my opinion. So anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe, check out my blog, moreplates.moredates.com. Follow me on Instagram at moreplates_moredates, Facebook, Snapchat, BitChute, Twitter, TikTok, Apple Podcasts. If you want to support the channel, you can check out anything I'm associated with in the video description down below. My TRT clinic, my nootropic and pre-workout formulas I designed from scratch myself, Gorilla Mind, Gorilla Mode, as well as anything else I'm associated with. It is all in the video description below. Check it out. If you want to support the channel, it's much appreciated. So thank you guys for watching. Talk to you soon.